And what I was going to tell you is that I'm speaking from experience. Some prophets will stand outside their cave and they will raise their hand and say that everything will be destroyed except for their home. And what they mean by that is that all the homes of the world are shelter for yourself, and there's extreme chaos outside of the home. So basically the point is that the war does not reach your house. Devastation doesn't reach your house. And that prophecy had to be performed because there was actually something physical attacking people called devastation. And so to hide from devastation, they ran into the caves. And that's a very common practice, because I know you've probably heard some of the fairy tales about dinosaurs descending into the Earth's caves in order to protect themselves from Armageddon, the dinosaur Armageddon. Well, the cave actually can provide you with a lot of what you need. You can grow things there. Back then you could grow things in a cave. There was actually plants that did not require sunlight that were edible. So they would plant roses and different things. Roses back then, there was a fruit of the rose, and it was called samagay, the fruit that the rose gave. And they used to call the rose the giver, because roses gave often. And so all of the fruit-bearing trees were called the giver, or the givers of life. Trees were very respected, and in the ancient times no prophet would cut down a tree for any reason, because they were considered the higher life. If you wanted to ascend to the higher life, you would bury your loved one at a tree. And another secret is that the sun changed colors, and often at the behest of the prophets. There was a certain prophet who had control over the sun, and everyone generally acknowledged him as the controller of the weather. And he would raise his hand, and I've done this myself, the easiest thing to do is to change the color of the sun. I can change the sun white. I can change it white from yellow. And many other prophets could do this, which eventually progressed to prophets moving the shadows backward, or moving the sun. They eventually got to the place where they could control not only the weather, but the patterns of the sun. But then in a time